But then I also feel bad for you because she's telling me what to do about you, not anybody else, just you.
What you mean?
She was like, don't call her mom. She's not your mama. She's not your mama.
All right. Welcome to our now third episode of
Donuts and Coffee
with Danielle and
Cenea.
Today, we are a little late with this podcast, but it was a lot going on inside our house, and we're here now. Cenea and I have been really trying to figure out what should our next topic be, and one thing that kind of stood out to us was
Guilt.
And what does that mean? Why do we have it? I know a lot of moms deal with it, and even Cenea shared, and which she'll share a little bit later, about how she feels guilt as a child when it comes to having a stepmom and her biological mother in her life.
And you might hear Zaria in the background.
Yes, Zaria is still with us. Mom guilt is such a more prevalent thing now, meaning you hear about a lot more moms struggling with that guilt. You have social media now as an influence. So I look on the Urban Dictionary of mom guilt, and it says, Urban Dictionary is official, but it says guilt a mother feels anytime she takes time to do something for herself outside of work and that does not involve the children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
Well, you feel bad whenever you go somewhere without me and Zaria.
That's true. That happens actually a lot. And I struggle as a mom, feeling bad that I don't do certain things with you guys. And sometimes, I need time for myself just to be me, because I was Danielle prior to becoming Zaria's mom, prior to becoming Cenea's mom, prior to becoming Cedric's wife. I was Danielle, and I will always be Danielle. I'm always telling people if, when they're feeling overwhelmed or anything like that, I would tell people you can't fill somebody else's cup when your cup is empty. You know what that means?
No.
Think about it. Say if you're feeling really, really bad and you just really sad or something, and you sometimes need people to come help cheer you up.
Yeah, but if the other person doesn't feel well either, you may as well come to each other and make each other laugh.
That's
Cry.
true. That's true. But that's very true. No buts. And sometimes when you having a great day and your friends are having a bad day, you can fill their cup with your positiveness, your positivity, your happiness and things like that to make them feel better. So, but for moms, you take on a lot. I remember, I'm going to have to look up the scripture in the Bible while we're recording, but there's a scripture that talks about, I definitely have to look it up, but it says something about you pretty much just have less time to devote to scriptures or to devote to God once you become married and have a child. And I didn't really understand that until I'm like actually in it. Like, because I feel like I have no time for anything. Because usually I'll go on like social media or like go on Facebook or Instagram and stuff, and I talk about like how I'm having a no eyebrow day, like, which means it's a bad day because I didn't have enough time to, do my makeup or something. So I just feel like I'm not, I almost say, kind of feel like I'm not myself because I didn't have enough time to take care of me. Because in the morning, I have to get Zaria ready. Got to make sure you stay on task because sometimes, you get sidetracked.
Yes, I do.
And, I still have to get myself ready and take Rocket out so he can go.
I take him out.
You take him out in the morning?
Oh, no, not in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yes. And then now our schedule's really about to change, and we gotta get up at like 5 in the morning so we can get you to school at least by 6:15 so I can get Zaria to the daycare by 6:30 so I can be at work by 7 o'clock.
Which is on time.
So I can get home, get off by 3:30 so I can get Zaria so I can get you off the bus. And sometimes, like, my whole day is devoted to my family, in which I'm not upset about anything. This is something that I prayed for. Like, in my mind in general, I had a understanding of what the responsibilities were. So, as a woman, and you'll figure this out too. And as
once
a mom,
I become a young woman.
Yeah, you do what you have to do. There's no time to be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. You do what you got to do. But then there's sometimes where I just, honestly, I sneak off, go have me a nice cup of coffee at an expensive coffee restaurant to just sit by myself.
And you don't even tell Daddy, do you?
Nope. I don't tell none of y'all. Or if I have just a inkling bit of time before right when I get off work, I'll stop somewhere and get me something like a treat. Sadly, most of these things involve food, which isn't always a good thing, but it's something quick that I can just enjoy by myself without like this one right here,
fat baby,
crawling all over me and crying because she wants me or something. Or even you, like yesterday, you was like, "Ooh, can I have one of your mozzarella sticks?" Mm-hmm. And then Pawpaw asked me for one of my mozzarella sticks, and all I had was one cold mozzarella stick at the end of it all. But it's cool. I love y'all. It is what it is. But what do you think about that?
About what?
About mom guilt. How do you feel about me doing those things? Like, how much do you have, like, or do you like ever feel bad? Because sometimes I'll say to you, Nate, I just need a moment to myself. How does that make you feel? Be honest.
Sometimes it makes me feel bad because I really want to spend time with you. But I know if you need time for you, then you need time for you.
Yeah, and you need to know that it's not anything directed towards you. It's not like, "Oh, mommy don't like me today." It's nothing like that. Or just, "Oh, mommy just needs some time to herself."
Mommy,
yeah.
I don't think mommies cannot like their kid for one day. One single day.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
One single day.
I can't say that for some moms, but there's a lot of people out there that do not need to be moms. That shouldn't be parents. But they crazy. But anywho, that's another topic for another day. Should I feel guilty about it?
You really shouldn't feel guilty because you need your own personal time. everyone needs their own time. You know how I say, well, good luck handling Rocket by yourself. And I go upstairs for me time. And by the way, Rocket's our dog.
Yes, our Boston Terrier. Rocket has his own Instagram page, at Rocket the Boston. So maybe we should have like a code word or something. So when we in the spirit of just being honest, and having that relationship of like honesty. If I need some alone time, I can just say, Nay, I just need some alone time. Or if you need some alone time, you just say, Mommy or Daddy, I just need some alone time for a little bit. Just if it's just a moment of prayer, you want to read the Bible or something like that.
Read a book.
Read your book. Whatever. I'm perfectly fine with that. And honestly, I do look forward to your bedtime. Just so I could kind of like wind down, because I constantly go. And I still have Zaria. I know your guilt is a little bit different from my guilt.
Yes.
Because we was discussing this in a car the other day. There's been situations to where her mom didn't necessarily like Cenea calling me mom, but Cenea, well, you talk about that. I don't want to speak for you, so you tell me about your feelings when it comes to asserting your relationship with me, or kind of like making your relationship known with me and making it known with your mom without making each one of us feel bad. But I don't feel bad. But how to do that?
It's really hard when she doesn't like me calling her mom, you mom, because I can't. I want to call you mom. I can, and she's not going to change that. But I feel bad for her when she gets upset because she hasn't spent that much time with me. But then I also feel bad for you because she's telling me what to do about you, not anybody else, just you.
What you mean?
She's like, don't call her mom. She's not your mama. She's not your mama.
Mm-hmm. And let me explain too, if you haven't listened to previous podcasts, the first one in particular, the first episode, I've never forced Cenea to call me mom. It was just, I guess, like a natural outpouring of our relationship, especially after her dad proposed to me, and she came up to me afterwards saying that
I can officially call you mommy.
Yeah, so it was her thing, and we always discuss words like love, words like mommy. Like, we try to make it to where, like, if someone says that they're this thing, that they actually do it. Like, if I tell Cenea I love her, I don't just tell her, I show her. So, like, when she calls me mommy, it's because I fulfill, or I am active in that role. So, you can go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
It's okay. Well, when my other mom said that, I sort of wanted to talk back to her, but I knew that I was wrong. So I just kept it in my head because I didn't want to get in trouble over there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I have my baby brother over there, my older brother, and my older sister.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you have to do anything extra for me?
Sometimes.
What you mean? Ooh, tell me.
sometimes I feel like you don't notice me. So I try to make you notice me by saying something funny or something. I try to make you notice me because sometimes it feels like you don't notice me as much.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you got an example?
Yes. When we were at Granny and Papa's house. It's a different time, Mommy. Different time.
Oh.
You were on the couch in the living room with the TV, and you were watching it. I kept on saying your name, and you didn't look at me. So I said something.
Did I hear you?
No, I was right next to you. And then I said something funny, and you started laughing.
So is that what you try and do? You try and make jokes when you feel like you're not being heard?
Yes. Not all the time, just sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just be funny to be funny.
Yeah, because you are funny. Well, let me say I do apologize for that. My intent is not to make you feel bad about yourself. Like, because I have a big thing about women, young girls, and I want them to have, for one, with the world that we live in, a lot of people try and take advantage of women, try and take advantage of girls. So my big thing is to teach you how to stand on your own 2 feet. That's not my intent, but sometimes I just be out of it. I'm human. I'm a human being. And sometimes you be out of it too.
I do?
Yeah. When it's time to get ready to do stuff in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I be like, nay, snap out of it. What are you doing?
And I keep on laying on my bed.
Yeah. Or you be taking 30 minutes to eat your breakfast or whatever. But do you have any other types of guilt? And you know what? I looked up, of course, the definition of guilty in the context of we're discussing. And it says conscious of or affected by a feeling of guilt. And the sentence they used was, John felt guilty at having deceived the family.
What does that mean?
He felt guilty?
No, to deceive.
Oh, lie, pretty much.
Oh.
So is there any other times that you felt guilty as a kid?
Yes. It involves you two moms, though.
Okay, what's that?
Whenever I how do I say this? Whenever I go over there and I feel some sort of way when I'm over there. I feel weird because you're not there and I'm used to you being there. Feels weird there, and I feel bad that I feel that way when I'm at my other mother's house.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, continue.
And so I try to stop thinking about it, but every time I call for my other mom when I'm at her house, I think about I think about the girl time that me and you have and the girl time that me and her have. We have short amount of girl time, and we have huge amount of girl time. This podcast was based on girl time. Yeah,
that's true. And I would say this, because you're with us full time, the time that you and I have together will naturally be longer because you live with us. So I don't want you to fault your mom for that. what the I guess like the difference is the quality time. You know what?
I know what quality time.
Quality versus quantity.
I just have no clue what
Quantity is the measurable time. Like, say, like I have an hour with you, or she has an hour with you. We both have the same quantity, the same amount of time.
But when I'm with you, we do more things in the amount of time. But when I'm with her, we do less things in the amount of time. Like, we would go get our hair done, get our makeup done, get patties. And then when I'm at her house, we would just do nails and watch a movie. And that's all we had time for. So when that hour was over, it was time for me to go home.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a little bit of a different dynamic in that way. So I don't want you to fault her for that. Because I wonder how like you would feel when, especially as y'all grow older and stuff. Like, I don't want you to feel guilty about the amount of time or your relationship between you and Zaria or you and your other siblings, just because the amount of time that you spend with one another. But that's something to consider and, think about as you get older. I don't want you to have or feel like you have to carry that on your shoulders.
You're saying you don't want me to have to pressure that right now. Yeah. Or as I get older.
Correct. Because I feel...
Sorry, stop messing with my stuff.
Because I don't feel like that's your responsibility to have to worry about that. But one of... on us back to mom guilt for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I kind of came up with a list of things that I feel guilty for sometimes, like forgetting stuff. I feel guilty about forgetting certain things for you, and because I feel like I have to overcompensate sometimes, meaning like go above and beyond, because your biological mother isn't as active in your life. And since I spend more time with you, because we live together, mm-hmm. I feel like I have to do more and not feel guilty sometimes because I'm not always like physically able to do that. Like, especially since Zaria has come in a picture, I know she needs more time because she's
a baby.
Yeah.
And she really can't do she can't do anything for herself.
Yeah.
Except for talk and crawl and giggle.
Yeah, because even last week, when I went to help Auntie Jessica, I felt bad. I felt a little guilty because I wanted to take you, but you're grounded. This became got on punishment this past week. So I just took Zaria to the event. So I felt kind of bad, but I knew at the same time we as parents still have to hold our ground as far as your punishment goes.
Yes.
I mentioned this earlier, but eating alone, because sometimes I've gone to quite a few places. I literally have to tell myself, Danielle, don't feel bad about this. It's okay. Don't feel bad. I literally have to tell myself not to feel bad about having a meal by myself or going to go have a...
If I were you and I had a meal by myself, I would feel sort of lonely.
No, I don't. At all. Whatsoever, I don't. But I'm good now. I'm over that guilt. Because honestly, just sometimes I just need a moment to. It makes me a better mom for you. For you and Zari, it makes me a better mom. And if any other moms are out there, and if you need to just take some time to yourself, do that. Use your resources, use your support systems.
I think Zari wants to say something. What do you want to say, fat baby?
Another form of mom guilt is breastfeeding. A lot of women out there, as moms, they get punished verbally because either they do breastfeed or they don't breastfeed.
How? Why?
Well, in this day and age, because everything is so easily reported or posted on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, you got different statistics out there, different people doing research on what's best for your child. Although I am I'm an advocate of breastfeeding. Sometimes it's just tough for other women, and a lot of moms get shamed because they do, or shamed because they don't know daddy. And I do, Zari is now 8 months old, and I'm slowing down, and it's a struggle. And I deal with that guilt because it makes me kind of feel less than a mom. Yeah, it's weird, but I do. But I'm starting to get over that. Is there anything else you feel guilty about before as a daughter?
Sort of.
What?
It goes all the way back when I first met you.
What?
No, not all the way back when I first met you. When Daddy proposed.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little guilty that I am not with my real mom, because she gave birth and gave this beautiful world to me. And so I feel guilty that I cannot see her as often as I used to.
I can tell you now that you shouldn't feel guilty about that at all. That has nothing to do with you. That's between your daddy and her. So you need to go ahead and move that off your shoulders. Oh, another thing I feel, and I guess in relation to Zaria, I do feel guilty about having alone time with her. I don't want you to feel like I'm shunning you away. But you have a solid 3.5 years of me to yourself. But I have to remember, she's a baby and she needs that time too. And even when you get older, there's going to be days where it's just going to be me and you, or it's going to be just me and Zaria, or it's just going to be just the girls, or it's going to be days to where it's just your dad and I.
And there's going to be days to where there's just you.
Yep, or it's just going to be days with just you and your dad. Yeah, I just want you to be mature enough to understand that. I think part of it is communicating that. Part of it is more internal feelings that we don't express to the person, to let them know, this is how I feel, and it's okay. One of the other things I wrote down was that I feel bad about not always having a hot breakfast for you. I feel to the moon, really excited and happy. I feel like I'm doing my mom duties when I actually have hot breakfast for you. I'm making your pancakes and bacon that you love.
Yeah. Pancakes and bacon mixed together.
Yeah, that was real good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel guilty some mornings when you get just cereal, or you get cereal 3 days in a row. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being a horrible mom. I do. I really feel like that. And
well, something that you feel, anything else that you feel guilty?
Yelling sometimes.
It's not often. That's really not often.
I know, but even when it does happen, I still feel guilty about it. And I do my best to come and apologize to you. And I'll explain to you why. Because sometimes I just have a lot on my mind and I'm frustrated. And then whatever conversation we have, if your room was messy or something, or you supposed to be cleaning up and you sitting here playing with paper or whatever, and then I'll just be like, what are you doing? So, but during those times, I do my best to try and explain to you, why I'm frustrated.
When this podcast also started with girl time, and when we were sitting down talking to, I gave you a pillow, we're sitting down talking to each other. And you mentioned when we were sitting down, we should start doing a podcast and release our feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I want you, because I know a lot of women they're known to be emotional or overly emotional. And I just, like I said, all the time, I just want you to be emotionally, spiritually, physically stable. A stable person. Because I've just seen too much, and I just want you to be wise academically. I want you to be street smart, book smart. I want you to be a well-rounded person.
And I want you not to feel guilty as when you go out to places without me, because really, you and Zaria need to spend girl time with each other too. Even when she's a baby, she can't remember it. It's still need girl time. Everyone needs girl time with their mom, even if they're too young to even remember what happened.
Yeah, but into every person, they need a alone time to themselves. But sometimes that is also called isolation, and that's when it gets too far, where you're constantly by yourself, constantly don't want to be around anybody. That's different versus ooh, I just need a moment to myself just to get my mind right. For those out there on social media, I want you to hashtag donuts and coffee with the pictures of your blended family, just so we can meet our listeners and seeing what's going on in their lives and things like that. And we can follow you. I might do again, let me say this. We are not experts. My degree is not in counseling. Actually, my degree is in criminal justice. But we're just sitting here talking our real lives, and we're just thankful for where we are. And it's still growing, of course.
It'll never stop.
No, I pray that it doesn't.
Not even when you're 100 years old.
And the other thing is prayer. I know everyone is not a Christian out here, but one thing that's definitely worked for me is prayer. I honestly often think about how would I want someone to treat my children? How do I want to be portrayed? How do I want to be I don't want to damage anybody's heart or mind. Kids are so at any age, kids are very, very sensitive, whether they want to be or not. And your words and actions truly affect them. So I took the stance on being very active in ensuring that her heart will always like, I won't be the one to injure her heart. I will be the one mending it, making her a better person. So some of the things that I like to do with Cenea is I like to surprise her with things.
Yeah, like you surprised me with that pumpkin.
Because I do my best to listen to her needs, her wants, and stuff like that. Listen and pay attention to her personality, her likes.
Yes, I love music.
Yeah, like, you're a very creative person. So, like, when I chose for us to do that Mommy and Me painting session, I felt like that was a great opportunity for us to just, continue our relationship, build with one another.
Yeah, whenever I look at that, I'm like, man, my mama loved me. You love me so much.
I do. And it's not just things either. Like, even with this podcast, I want this to be a time for us to sit down and have healthy conversation, and for you to be able to have a conversation, be able to communicate your thoughts, communicate your feelings, and, kind of bounce it off one another without it being in like a heated conversation.
Yes, and if you haven't seen our first podcast, I promise I wouldn't be, when I'm a teenager, I wouldn't be get out my room.
Well, you won't be able to do that, for one, because it'll be our house. And we'll be taking off some doors if we have to. But I don't know. It's like this is real life. Each day is not promised to us, and I'd rather live my life happy. I'd rather live my life in a very positive. I'd rather be happy. And being happy is me having my one-on-one time with you. Nay over here being goofy, but I want to wrap this up real quick. So I'd rather spend my time, like, even if I'm tired, even if I'm frustrated, I try and push through to make it happen for you guys, because, like I said, we're not promised tomorrow, and I'd rather you have positive, happy thoughts of your childhood versus feeling like you hurt or you have had trauma in your life. But anywho, any last words for the people?
Yes.
Comment wherever, if you're on iTunes, Spotify. Subscribe to our podcast. Give us some feedback. Send us some comments, questions. If you have for us, please send us questions. We have an email account. Is heydonutsancoffee@gmail.com. Like hey, HEY, donuts and AND coffee@gmail.com. So hit us up anytime. Questions, concerns, thoughts, whatever you have, hit us up. We'll be gladly respond to you. So, Nay, I think that wraps up our third episode
of Donuts and Coffee
with Danielle and
Cenea.
So please join us again next time, which hopefully will be more consistent.
Yes.
We're recording. Nay says she's going to keep it in her calendar.
Yes, we got every Thursday.
Okay, but it will be probably posted on Mondays. We'll record on Thursdays. All right, we love you guys. Continue to love one another, and we'll see you next time.
Make sure to give your parents a big kiss.
Yes.
Mwah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
All right, see y'all next time.
Hello.
Hello.